All right, if I know what I'm doing, this should be mystery box number 3. This is the Batman. 5 sensational stories, superpowers collection. And let's see there. Get a nice little look at that there. Now, this one is having a few issues, so I thought, might as well show you what I do. That one there. All I do is go to the Dollar Tree. Come on, you bastard. And it's not $1 anymore, but it's, you know, whatever ballpark there. Sometimes I write on this, or I go over on this one. The trick is to not get any glue anywhere. Let's see how that fits in. This doesn't even fit in here. I just went willy-nilly on this bad boy, huh? Well, let's do it this way. Oh, that's goopy. So gooey today. This is precision gluing. Get off, get off. There. All right, come here, you goober. Ew. Look at that schnurd there. Boy, it would help if I could see that, but oh well. I do better than they had it. Wow, you can't even tell it from the retail version. You know, except for all the glue. All right, so what is this? How many, what does that say? Herrings in the wheelbarrow? What the hell does that mean? What's herring, fish? How many herrings in the wheelbarrow? I don't even want to know. I'm not going to watch that episode on principle just because of the name. A bird out of the hand. Oh. From Catwoman with Love. Okay, that sounds nice. The 1001 Faces of the Riddler. Now, where did they come up with that? And the cool, cruel Mr. Freeze. And this says it's an hour. And that they're 3. What? Check out the other 3 video cassettes. Listen, my reading and reading comprehension are very low, okay? So just understand that. But it looks like we're getting 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes. All right? That wheelbarrow one bringing me over, huh? All right, Batman. You really butt baby. There we go. All right, now we got Popples. And this is the tape that broke my other machine. Oh, boy, that pisses me off. Anyways, this thing is nightmare fuel. And somebody tried to open it from the wrong end. So you guessed it. All we're going to do, one big schnurtle. Whoop. And we're going to schnurt it down. If that doesn't work, I'll use tape, but that should do it. As I say it, bonk. Let's see if we can get past this. Ugh, there you go. A little punishment for you. So these are Popples. I haven't even heard of this. Sometimes in this era, anybody could put anything out and it would sell just to keep kids busy. You could put that on the shelf somewhere. Like, oh, that looks good. Oh, $10. I'll buy that. It's half the price of a rental. And then you get this weirdo stuff. What does it say this is about? The fun-filled capers with those cuddly popples. Those are cuddly? Look at this guy. You want that in your room in the dark and you're looking over in the corner and going, what the hell was that? Oh, that's two Hearthead. Springtime's a poppin'. I don't even like the implication there. And Popples play Pee-wee golf. Okay, so parents, you better watch this tape first, okay? I don't like the double entendres running around this thing. You know, could you rewind one of these? There's a lot of stuff going on here. Maybe this was a rental. Maybe the store bought it because like, oh, we can get this one for $10, and then they can get people to rent the thing. And they probably made $1,000 off this tape. There, what do you think of that analysis? So there we go. Magic Window Entertainment. Anybody know them? Nah, me either. Now let's see if I can make a T here. Apply some pressure to that thing. I bet somewhere near the end that thing explodes. The Princess Bride in one of these giant boxes suitable for a VHS tape. I'm going to open it. I'll look and see if it's got the booble bits on there. You know The Princess Bride. I've never understood this movie. I don't understand why people love it so much. It just does not land for me. And it's probably because I'm not into high fantasy as it is. And I like the people in this movie. You know, it's just not my thing, man. Does everything have to be my thing? Can you see that in there? See, look, it's got that little bowl divider thing there. Now, this guy went crazy. Look at this. I'll just write it on there. Forget it. Yellow dot, red dot? Don't know that system. Scan code? I mean, there's so many things going on here. But I bet this was a popular rent back in the day. Princess Bride. If you like it, I'm happy for you. What video store does that say? Warning, messing with this. Okay, and it's got another sticker with 3 on it. All right. And look at that. There's some numbers on there too. Can you imagine being the young clerk working this? Oh, wait a minute. It's got a yellow and a red sticker. And then it's got, over on the side, there's a number. Oh, and then there's another sticker that says 3. Mr. Beelson, where does this tape go? Shut up. That's a clerk getting smacked. Because, you know, it was the 80s. You could smack a clerk. Now, this is just in here. It's another one of these weird situations. This says Flashdance. And somebody went to the trouble of typing on this, by the way. Let's give a few ups. Hour, 53 minutes, recorded in beta 3, which means shit, because that's the SLP of the VHS. Now, normally what I would do on a tape like this that looks like it's been through the mill and it's been recorded on SLP, I would just toss this, okay? Why don't I toss it? Because, look at that. If this was recorded off a cable, there's all kinds of ancillary stuff that could be around the actual Flashdance movie. And I love that old cable stuff that is gone. I found a tape of The Morning After with Jeff Bridges and that other chick with the big mouth. And I'd never seen that movie. By the way, enjoyed the movie. It was cheese, but I still enjoyed it. It was like a murder mystery thing. And then at the end, they were showing stuff for Cinemax. So you got to see the few little commercials. I mean, did this guy sit here I mean, he typed it out, so maybe he did stop it right after, but a lot of these people just leave it running until the tape dies. And then you get a couple hours of vintage Cinemax commercials, hype, coolness. So I'm going to look at that. I looked at another tape today. It was a blank. And I was like, well, I mean, I got to check all these blanks, right? There's something weird on here. I got to know it and erase it. And I put it on, and it had a TV show on it that was supposed to be like a Twilight Zone or something, or a Night Gallery, and it was called something like Dark Door or something. It even just escapes me now. But it was recorded off television when they showed it on CBS, and it had that one famous actor that was in Two Mules for Sister Sarah. I think he was in The Great Escape. Colburn. I want to say James Colburn. Anyway, he was the Rod Serling talking up the little stories you were about to see. And then we got to see Helen Hunt and an episode that was sort of like, is this guy a vampire or not? And the writing was horrible. But I sat there and watched the whole thing just because I was interested in how cheesy it was. And then the second half was a story about an old couple, Claude Akins. Any of you remember him? He was all over the place during the mid 70s to mid 80s, I would say. I think he was Sheriff Lobo, right? I think that's who he was. And the story was that they were, this old guy dies at the beginning, and they want to figure out some way to keep his checks coming in every month. So that was that story. And then you get a little twist. So that's why I look at those tapes too. Sometimes you can find some gems in there. I love that kind of stuff. Oh, and there was also, after that, was a show. I haven't finished the whole tape. I mean, I don't have all day. There was a Robert Stack television show that looked like a remake of The Untouchables, but it was modern day. And it started out with this guy following this chick in the grocery store, then follows her home, then attacks her in the kitchen. And he's saying all this weird shit to her. And then there's a rape, which they don't quite show, but it is so freaky to think that that was on TV. And then it cuts to the guy who's in charge at the police station goofing around on a typewriter, and boy, I can't talk today, and writing his book, and then has to talk about, you know, all of these serial, they were calling him the grocery store rapist. And that's how that was first 10 minutes of the show. So I don't know how it ends. So you're just going to have to wait, and hopefully I remember to tell you about it. But this is Sweet 16. I've never heard of this, but I mean, what do you think? Naked chick, knife, water. I'm thinking Friday the 13th in that vein. All of this stuff down here, I cannot read. It's faded. It's too small. Sweet 16. Where are you? I can't imagine there were too many of this thing, right? This was obviously a rental. Look at that number. Why are all the boys dying to meet Melissa? Uh-oh. It sounds like Melissa is turning the table, so sort of the opposite of that Robert Stack show, right? Poor Melissa Morgan. She's a well, why is that poor Melissa if she's sensual big city girl who is stuck spending her 16th summer in a small Texas town? What? So that means she's 16? Maybe 17 if she was born in the summer? If that's math? I'm going to stop reading. This is so weird, the sensibilities back then. 16. By the way, the Helen Hunt vampire story, the main guy, he's got to be 35. They're saying she just turned 18 or 19. And they were talking about how those two, they haven't seen each other in a while. They were talking about how they played grab ass back when she was 13. And I'm just like, all right. And they treated it perfectly normal. Like you'd be arrested for what that guy was doing, even when she was 18, his attitude. So I don't know what this movie's about. I'm a little afraid of it. Not really. But then again, could be weird. All right, 6 weeks. All right, you ever heard of that? No, I haven't either. But it's got Dudley Moore, of which he was a superstar. Foul Play. He was in Arthur. Come on, you know Arthur. One of the best comedies ever made. Then he was in some other stuff that wasn't so great, like Best Defense. And wasn't he Best Defense? I get confused. And he was in Santa Claus the movie. Anyways, let's find out what's going on here. Mary Tyler Moore. I mean, you either are or not a Mary Tyler Moore fan. I guess I'm somewhere in between. I don't care, but I'm on the not loving it. And boy, I'm going to tell you, I cannot read this. Co-star in this touching story of two exact opposites. Okay, so opposites attract. So you know what you're getting there, okay? Opposites are attracting. There we go, 6 weeks. And what do you mean 6 weeks? Doesn't that just scream of somebody's dying? Gotta be, right? Why would it be 6? Or is it 6 weeks it took them to turn themselves around? I don't know. I would think this was a rental, but then on the other hand, I don't see any signs of this being a rental. I don't think that's a rental sticker. I don't think that's a rental sticker. The glue is coming through, so don't let that fool you. And I see nothing on this. Oh, well, look at that. That's that $258 again. Maybe it was a rental. Boy, I would love some closure on that. Does anybody know who rented this tape and who used all of these things? If you do, I would love to hear from you. 6 weeks. And we only got 2 left. Airplane 2, the sequel. Now, Airplane, another one of the funniest comedies ever made, right? Then the people who were involved in Airplane 1 didn't want any part of Airplane 2. So you got something Airplane-ish. When I was a kid, I had access to a VCR in whenever this movie came out and then was on cable. And I was lucky enough to be able to tape this. And I probably watched this movie 1 trillion times. So I don't think it sucks. Because I remember as a kid and loving it. And it's got William Shatner in it. Okay? And all the other people from the original show. And I think it's a great idea to, what's the natural evolution, right? Plane, space shuttle. And space shuttle was all the rage. So you will not see me crapping on this. I love it. See, there's the Grim Reaper. Not good, Ted, but I think you're going to pull through. There's the Shatman, and there is no Leslie Nielsen, which is a shame, but there's Unger, Overdone, or whatever. This guy is a real whack job. You know, you had to have seen Airplane 2, right? Sonny Bono. Come on, Sonny's in it. There you go. 1982. Boy, they cranked that out fast, huh? Anyway, you get my 5-star recommendation on Airplane 2. Not as good as Airplane 1, okay? But certainly deserves to be in a conversation. Now, here's a weird one. Look at the design of this tape. This is the last one, by the way, so you don't have to listen to me anymore after this. Unless you've hit the off button and you don't even have to listen to this. Sherlock Holmes, Smarter Brother. I sort of heard about this, but this would have been before my brain was fully developed. And I think that says 78 on it. And I would have been, what, 7 years old? And I wouldn't have been at the movie theater, so it would have probably been something like on TV. So I wouldn't have watched it, didn't understand it. But I was sort of aware of this. And it's all the same guys, right? Gene Wilder, Madeline Kahn, Marty Feldman. So I am going to watch this. I'm very interested. Looks like it was a rental again from the same place. I love these hype sheets here. The Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines. The Hot Rock. Okay, you want to rent the Hot Rock? And I know what company is this. I know I have a couple others that look like this. Maybe I even showed them. I don't remember. Maybe I will show them. I don't know. I'll tell you what, they don't want to come out of here. Another one that's not rewound. Can you imagine the fees that were happening? I don't understand how this place went out of business. Because they were getting fees every 10 minutes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have read this before, right? Magnetic Video, a 20th Century Fox company. There you go. Look at the number there. Now, is that the catalog number of this tape that was done by the maker of the tape, or was this the video store? I don't know. But that's it. So there is only one video left in the Mystery Box series. But I found another box in the garage. This is the last box. This is it. And I'll go through that box after this series. So we got one more episode in this series, and then I guess it's going to be called Mystery Box number 2, part 1. So just be prepared to be confused. And then I think what I'll do is, we're slowing down at this point because all of these tapes I just showed you, while they've all been cleaned, I still haven't cataloged them yet. And to catalog them, I have to put them out, I have to take pictures, and then I have to put it in this system. And most of the time these things are so old, I got to type it in, and it slows things down. And if I don't do it all in a system, it never gets done, and then there's confusion, and then, you know, I wind up with 8 copies of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother, because my brain cannot remember this stuff anymore. So I have to write everything down. And when I say write, I mean digitally put it in my phone. So you're going to get these 2 videos today, and then I don't know when I'm coming back for a little while. Plus, the honey hole, I got a line that I might be able to go back there, and maybe there's some other things to dig through. So that could be coming up too. And then once I'm done with that, and then I got to alphabetize all these things, and then I got to filter them into the existing set, I'll go through all of those. So you can have plenty of beta tapes to look at for a while. There's just going to be a slightly different format. I probably, if I was forward thinking, I probably would have done this a little bit different so it was all a complete series, but whatever, Mystery Box. Oh, and maybe I'm thinking about maybe some of these blanks that I do, maybe I will, there's a CRT monitor to my right that you guys can't see. I could probably show some of that, maybe without the volume or quick snippets or what. I might do that too, so you can see what I'm talking about. And if you're not interested in that, you just go into another video. I saw a great video today from Red Letter Media talking about the movie theaters and movies themselves, and they focused on our movies better or worse, and why there's so many flops this year, because this is April, I think 21, 25. Can't see it, there's a thing in the way. But instead of focusing on the theaters, they were focusing on the quality of the movies. And they're saying there's a bunch of quality movies that are in the theaters for 10 minutes and people won't go see them. And they only go to see Minecraft and stuff. And that's what's keeping the theaters going. So that was an interesting watch. Those guys are good. Red Letter Media. Do yourself a favor. Listen, I like my content. Mine is 1% of theirs. Okay, bye-bye.